What's up, guys? Glad to have you back here. Today I'm going to be doing a review of this guy right here, the Logitech G Cloud. You might be thinking, why did I buy this device? You might have heard a lot of bad things about it, but I'm going to change your mind on this here. This is one of my favorite Android-based handhelds, and if you can find it for the right price, I highly recommend it. Let's go over to the desk, and I will show you why. So, the first question I'm sure is going through your mind right now is why would you even buy this device, especially for the price it's listed at? And that's a very good question. Now, if you're buying this for the main list price of $300 or $350, which some places will have this, that is definitely not a good deal. You can definitely get a lot better devices for that. Now, if this is your only option, then yeah, it might be okay. And if I had to pay $300 for a brand new one of these here, I wouldn't be upfront. I'd be a little upset, but after using it, I would not be, because this device is just that good. So let's talk about a few things. First off, I got this used, and there's a few problems with it, which is why I got it so cheap. Is missing these back paddles here, and then it has like some scratches here and there. But I got it for $113, which, if you ask me, is still a slamming deal for something like this. But you can also find them going for about $150. So if you can find it for that price, that is such a good deal, because you're getting such a good device here. I'll show the specs on the screen now. You're rocking a Snapdragon 720G, if I'm not mistaken, 4 gigs of RAM, pretty low end, and these specs are a couple years old at this point. But that shouldn't detract you from this device here. And I'll show you some of the performance a bit later. And it gets decent performance. Even in PS2 and GameCube, there are some games you can play. So we'll show that a bit later. Now, the next thing here, this device is incredibly lightweight. It feels almost lighter than the Switch. It's kind of hard to tell exactly. I don't have a scale, but this just feels extremely lightweight, even with this case here. It almost feels unreal to hold this. It's just so light, especially since I was used to the Steam Deck for so long. That thing is extremely heavy compared to this. This device is just a dream to hold, especially with the grips here in this case that I have that it enhances the grips further. This is the best feeling Android device that I've ever used, easily. Way better than the Odin 2. I'm sure the Odin 2 Portal is pretty good, especially with the case that it has. For a lot of people mention that, but this, as far as what I've used, this is amazing. And the size is also not extremely large. Like here's the Switch. I know it's kind of zoomed in a little bit, but you can kind of see like it's not too much larger than the Switch. So they're pretty similar in size. So it's really nothing too crazy. So that's a huge selling point for me, is just how lightweight and nice to hold this device is. Another selling point here is the battery life. It is absolutely incredible on this device. And I'm sure that's because it has a large battery and a low powered chip, but you can see it's at 50% now. I charged this on, I think Tuesday is the last time I charged it. Granted, I haven't been using it a whole lot, maybe like a couple hours here and there, but any other device would be a lot lower. I think yesterday I played for probably 3 or 4 hours. So it's like you're getting some really good battery life out of this here. And this will probably last me another couple days, or I'll maybe have to charge it up tomorrow if I'm doing like YouTube streaming or whatever. But the battery life on this is insane. A big problem I had with the Steam Deck is that I would always have to baby the battery, and especially with when I had an ROG Ally, when I was testing that out, the battery life is just very bad, and it's to the point where you have to worry about it while you're playing. Now, this is the exact opposite here. This, I don't have to worry about battery ever. And it's the best feeling when you can just be immersed in your games and not have to worry about that. And if you're doing cloud streaming like GeForce Now, you're going to get incredible battery life, and you're never going to have to worry about battery ever again with this device. It's really nice. And even emulation, you're getting some pretty good battery life. Now, another reason why I like this device here is because of the interface. I heard that it used to be not so good when it first came out, but I am absolutely loving this. I'm not using the tablet mode because you can also just change this into like a normal Android tablet, which I did at first, but I find that I like this setup here. So here's the settings. Got all your basic stuff. Now, you can change a few different things. There's like lab stuff you can do. Nothing super crazy here. You can get the Android settings from here. This you can change to tablet mode. But one of the biggest things that I really enjoy about this interface, let me go ahead and open an app. You'll see that it opened. And if I press home, it says that it's running. Now, if I go ahead and open a different one, it'll ask me if I want to confirm and close A3SX2, open that. You can see that it functions very close to what something like a Nintendo Switch would do, where it doesn't let you run multiple apps in the background. Now, you can do that if you want to use tablet mode, or there's a setting that allows you to do more than one apps at the same time. However, since this is such a low-end device, there's really no need for that. You can just go in and just use it like a regular console, like a Nintendo Switch, and you're not going to really run into problems with running out of memory, having too many apps open, whatever it may be, because it just manages all that for you because of this interface here. It's just really nice. I know some people might not think that's a big deal, and you're probably fine with just closing out of the apps with the app switcher, like on the Odin or any other Android device. But this is just a breath of fresh air for me. I just like not having to worry about that stuff with my consoles nowadays, at least. And this is just, like I said, it's a breath of fresh air to have this type of experience. Now, another reason I really like this device here is because it's from a bigger company, Logitech. And that means there's more options for support. For instance, I just Googled Logitech G Cloud battery, and you can see there's multiple options to replace the battery or order a replacement. So that is actually really nice, because if you use Android devices from China, you're not going to be able to get those same battery replacement options, as well as just general support. It's just going to be not as good because you're dealing with those Chinese companies. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but since they are in China, totally different time zones, it's going to be a pain in the butt to get support, because you're going to have to wait at least a day, and if not longer, like just to get a response. So, the support from a bigger company is definitely another reason to get something like this. Now, another reason I really like this device here is because I've been able to use it as a tablet as well. So I can go into my calendar. I can go into, let's see, you can manage your files with ease. You can basically do anything that you can with a regular Android tablet. So I've been using this for YouTube streaming. I've been using this for, I thought I had Excel on here. But anyway, I was planning on managing some Excel sheets on this, and just using this for some productivity stuff. So that's really nice that you can use this for gaming, but it's also very useful as just a regular tablet device. So that's really cool. All right. Now, another reason why I really like this device, and this obviously isn't a, a G Cloud specific reason, but GeForce Now is really good. I've tried other cloud streaming solutions in the past, and this has honestly blown me away. I don't I don't know if the other ones like Xbox Game Pass and others I haven't proved since then, but as you can see here, I'm playing Starfield on GeForce Now. I'll show you there. And I mean, it's running great. I'm pretty far from my router as well. So you might see a few little stutters here and there. The fact that it's running this smooth while I'm that far from my router is very impressive. This is probably one of the furthest areas in my home from my router, and the fact that it's still working this well is incredible to me. If I'm being completely honest, um, I have been using this to play Phasmophobia with my friends, and it's very seamless. Like you would never know you were not playing it on a dedicated device for it. It's that good. I have the $10 a month version. I was just using the free version and just waiting a couple minutes to join, but you only can play for an hour at a time, and then you have to wait in line again. But with this, the premium $10 version, you get 6 hours of playtime and no wait times when you start, which is great. And it's so worth it to me right now. And if I don't feel like playing any games that need this for a month, I can just cancel it. So this has been great. I don't have to invest in any high-end hardware to run this. Obviously, it's running Starfield at high graphics, I assume. I haven't done any changes to it, but it looks pretty good. So GeForce Now is incredible. If you've never used it and you're curious about streaming, this would change your mind, honestly, because I was always on the fence about streaming, and always thought that having a dedicated device would be better. But this is changing my mind, really. And in most cases, I'm going to be connected to the internet anyway for the games I'm playing. And if I'm not, then I'm fine with just playing my offline retro games. So I am not really concerned about not having these games offline, like these GeForce Now games, especially with Phasmophobia. Like I said, I play that online anyway, so I'll have an internet connection, so I can just play it and stream it. So it's been really good. I have thoroughly enjoyed this experience, and I think you will too. All right, guys. Now we're going to test out some PSP emulation. I'm going to go through a few different emulators to show you how this works. But we get some pretty decent performance with PSP. I think that's going to be one of the #1 systems that you want to play on this device, because the screen is 4 times the aspect ratio of an actual PSP, which means you're going to get some good upscaling. So we'll just go ahead and start this up here. And I will also pull up the settings that I'm running. I believe it's set to 2x right now. Here, let me go in and, okay, we're at 2x. Also go in, show FPS counter. Okay. It's up there in the right-hand corner. You can probably see it. I'm going to go up to 4x, 1080p to match the screen display, the screen resolution, I should say. Just go up here, turn this up just a little bit. I'm not very good at this game. I just spam, basically. I have a few combos that I spam. So yeah, this game is running great. Let's jump over to the next one. All right, guys. So we're in Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. I have it set to the same 4x resolution. As you can see, we're not getting 60 FPS. We're at like 47, 48, 50. So we're not quite there yet. You could adjust some settings if you wanted to, but we're just going to go down to 2x for this one. With these games, the higher end games, you're going to be able to play at 2x most likely. God of War, Chains of Olympus should be the same. But there's probably a lot of other games you can play at 4x. I'd say a large majority of the other PSP games you could play at 4x resolution. But this is running great. 60 FPS on 2x, and it still looks great. Honestly, I couldn't really tell a huge difference going from 4x to 2x just right off the bat, but I mean, this looks great. So now we're going to test out some PS2. Now, something to keep in mind with this, I'm not really sure what was going on, but I was trying to use the NetherSX 2 mod for this, the latest one, and for some reason it just would not boot. So I had to go back to AetherSX 2, just the regular one, but for some reason it still has the NetherSX 2 icon. I'm not sure what's up with that. But anyway, I'm going to test out some PS2 games here, and we're basically just using the fast unsafe preset, and none of the other settings have been changed here. Okay guys, here we are in 007 Nightfire, one of my favorite PS2 games, and we are set to, should just be 1x resolution, I believe. Yep. The frame rate up there at the top. So it seems to be running okay. It's definitely skipping some frames. Let's go up here. Yeah, this is totally playable. I mean, you could definitely play this game. Let's try some multiplayer. Okay. We're in a multiplayer match here with 3 other bots. And just like before, we're definitely skipping some frames here and there, but I mean, you could play this and enjoy it, I feel. Because this is still decently smooth for the device you're using. Let's see how it handles the explosions. Okay, not too bad. Yeah, not too bad at all. Let's go up to 2x to see how it runs. Okay. So you could probably run this game at 2x. Although I'd probably just do all these PS2 games at 1 just to make sure that they are as smooth as can be, since, you know, sometimes these tests here are not exactly representative of how the game will run further on. Like, I know in this game there's a level in kind of in the middle called chain reaction, and it's actually pretty demanding. So it might lag. Unfortunately, I'm not at that part in the game to test it, but if you have any other issues, you can always go in and try and configure the settings further. But if you like just playing online, or not online, but multiplayer, this works great. So that is cool to see. Let's jump into another one. Okay, guys, here we are in Rise to Honor. Definitely skipping some frames here. I believe this is still at, okay, this one's at 1x, okay. With playing PS2 games on this device, I mean, it goes without saying, and I kind of already insinuated this, but you're really not going to want to buy this for PS2. It's more of just like a nice little bonus that you can play some PS2 games on here if you want to. But really, I would keep this for streaming and retro games from PSP and below. Yeah, as you can see here, I mean, we are dropping some frames. So it's not a perfect, smooth experience, but it's still pretty cool to see this game running. Let me show you one that is pushing the limits of this device, really, and that's going to be Jak and Daxter. So here we are with Jak and Daxter. I believe with this one, let's see, it should be set to 1x. Yep. Again, unsafe settings, preset. Let's see in the corner there, the FPS. Yeah, we're definitely not in a playable state here. I mean, if you absolutely love Jak and Daxter and you're dying to play on your G Cloud, I suppose you could if you really wanted to. This area is definitely one of the least smooth areas. So I'm going to load up this other save that I have here, and we'll see how much better this actually is. Because yeah, that village area it's kind of laggy sometimes, especially on lower end devices. So yeah, kind of the same experience here. Like I said, if you really wanted to play this, you could. I mean, it's working. It's okay. It's not my preferred way of playing this game, but the option is there. Like, yeah, like this is playable. This is playable, I would say. This is 100% playable if you can deal with fuzzy graphics and stuttering gameplay. If you played the PS Vita version of this, then you'll be right at home. No, I'm just kidding, but for reals. But yeah, this is playable. PS2 games are gonna work. It just depends on how much you want to scrunch them down and mess around with the settings. But this can play PS2 games, so it's a nice little bonus. Okay, guys. So now I want to show you some GameCube emulation. This is the only one that I've tested so far. We are at 1x resolution, I believe. Yep, 1x. All the settings are basically default. You can see like we're not getting full speed. I forgot to turn the frame counter on, but I mean you can clearly see it's going in slow motion. If you wanted to, you could probably do some settings like the VBI skip or turning off the what is it called, the sync on idle skip or whatever. You probably get some better performance with some other hacks and whatnot, but it's I mean this game's pretty lightweight and it's not even running it very well, so it's really just going to be hit or miss. The only reason I tried the PS2 emulator games is that it has the presets. I'm really not wanting to go in and mess with a bunch of settings to get this to work. This is more just a test. So I'm going to reiterate, PS2 and GameCube are playable, but I would never buy this for those devices or for those systems. All right, guys. Well, that is my review of the Logitech G Cloud. I really appreciate you watching. Again, I really like this device here, and if you go into it with an open mind and the correct expectations and for the right price, this is a great device. So once again, I really appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, comments, feedback or criticism, please feel free to drop a comment. Leave a like as well if you enjoyed the video, or dislike if you didn't. And I appreciate you guys watching. Remember to always be grateful, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, guys.